You see, with God, and this is so important for you to understand, with God, the waiting seasons are never without purpose. They are never without purpose because change takes time. 7 weeks ago, it was one day before we started the 21-day fast, I found a moth cocoon on our back patio. I actually have a picture of it here. And I didn't even know what it was at first. I'd never actually seen a moth cocoon like this up close. But I did a little bit of research, and I figured out that that's what it was. And so I thought it was pretty amazing. I thought it was pretty fascinating. I thought, pretty cool. I'd like to be able to kind of see what happens here. So I did what any other sane person would do in that kind of situation. I put it in a box and put it in my house. Okay, he came out of his shell sometime last night or early this morning. I don't want him to fly out. There he is. There he is. What's really interesting is that the caterpillar doesn't actually grow into a moth per se. It has to go through a process called histolysis, all right? There's actually a special group of transformative cells that are inside the caterpillar that remain dormant and inactive until the time when the caterpillar goes into his cocoon. Once he goes into his cocoon, these transformative cells are then activated, and they begin to literally break the body of the caterpillar down to nothing until it is literally a pile of cells, an accumulation of goop, more or less. And it's only after this has happened that it can then begin to reform itself into a moth. But the entire process that this caterpillar goes through from being a caterpillar to becoming a moth is a process called metamorphosis. I think we're probably all familiar with that term. But just to kind of refresh everyone's memory on this, the definition for metamorphosis is the process of transformation from an immature form to an adult form in two or more distinct stages. Did y'all catch that? I'm going to read that again because I thought that was pretty amazing. It is the process of transformation from an immature form to an adult form. Guys, the process of spiritual transformation in our lives, it's not God's way of trying to make us miserable. When we have to wait for the answers to our prayers, it's not that God's trying to play some kind of mean trick on us. No, he is transforming us. During those seasons of waiting when it seems like nothing is changing from the outside, he is literally recreating us from the inside out. He is moving us from a place of spiritual immaturity to a place where we are stronger and mature. But understand this. It's so important to understand this. That transformation can only take place if we have first allowed the Lord to lower us to nothing. God first has to totally break us down. He has to break us down to where there's literally nothing left, like just a pile of cells. An accumulation of goop, more or less, like our caterpillar in his cocoon. Completely broken down and surrendered. And usually that process is not fun. It's uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. But for true change to take place in our lives, it requires that we be humbled and totally surrendered to God. Where we realize that we're nothing without him, then and only then can he begin to recreate us anew. And what he's forming in us is so worth it. In 2 Corinthians 5:17, and this is good news, it says, therefore, if anyone is in the Messiah, he is a new creation. Come on, that is good news. If anyone is in the Messiah, he is a new creation. It says old things have disappeared. They've been melted away to nothing, right? Old things have been broken down. They've been disappeared. And look, all things have become new. God wants to make you a new creation. He wants to give you wings. He wants to give you wings. When you're going through that season of waiting and it's so hard and you're doubting God's promises and you say, God, why is this taking so long? And this is painful and it hurts. Hold on. He's working on your wings.